Previously on Solo Leveling, the fourth Jeju Island raid began as humanity's final hope, a desperate attempt to stop the ants from consuming Korea. But it turned into a massacre. S-rank hunters were torn apart. Cha Hae-In nearly died, and just when all hope seemed lost, he appeared. Sung Jinwoo. With overwhelming force, he obliterated the Ant King, and then did the unthinkable. He turned him into a shadow. Beru was born, and the Queen Ant fell. The raid was over. Korea survived, because of one man. After the memorial, Jinwoo requested something bold, permission to start his own guild. Chairman Go Gun-hee granted it without hesitation. China revealed one of its most powerful assets. Liu Zhigang, a national-level hunter feared across continents. On a quiet highway, a mysterious red gate opened. Without flinching, he stepped inside, alone, except for his army of shadows. And deep within, a new battle began. This is where Season 2 ended, and where Season 3 begins. Continuing from the red gate Jinwoo had entered earlier, a heavy silence hangs in the air as a lone figure steps into the heart of enemy territory. One of the beasts rises to meet him, massive, armored, sneering. "So, you're the bastard who's been killing my compatriots?" His eyes narrow as he sizes Jinwoo up. "I'll admit, I'm impressed. Someone so short, making it all the way here?" He chuckles. "And you speak our language. That's cute." He gestures to the woods. "But this is where it ends. My men are already waiting. Come out, everyone!" Silence. No movement. Nothing. His grin falters. Jinwoo finally speaks. Calm. Cold. "Someone of short stature." He tilts his head. "You're a funny guy." There was a loud thud. Something heavy hits the ground. It was a severed arm, then a head. Shadow soldiers begin to emerge from the tree line, dragging the bodies of the enemy's own ambushers. Dozens of them. Eyes glowing, blades dripping. Looks like there's nobody left. The enemy turns pale. What? What happened? "You imbeciles!" he roars, but it's too late. With a cold, bone-chilling voice, Jinwoo uttered one word. "Begin." In an instant, like shadows unchained, his army surged forward. The ground trembled beneath the weight of their wrath. Steel, fang, and claw ripped through the battlefield, tearing apart everything in their path. The air exploded with a war cry, loud enough to shake the skies. One foolish beast dared to stand before Jinwoo himself. Big mistake. In less than a heartbeat, the creature was ripped into shreds by the razor claws of the shadow pandas, chunks of flesh scattering like confetti in a hurricane. Terror gripped the battlefield. This wasn't a fight. It was a slaughter. The enemy leader's eyes widened in horror as his warriors were butchered before his eyes. He tried to make a move, but it was too late. Beru struck, lightning fast. His claw tore the leader's arm clean off, blood spraying like ink across the stone. Before the beast could scream, Igris appeared behind him. With one clean slice, he severed the creature's thigh, dropping him to the ground like a felled tree. The beast roared in rage, but it was a hollow sound, a desperate bluff. The battle was already lost. A thunderous voice echoes. Tusk has activated. Hymn of giants. The earth quakes beneath them. Trees sway from invisible pressure. Then, Tusk has activated. Gravity acceleration. Bodies crash to the floor like dolls made of stone. They can't breathe, they can't move, and Jinwoo, he simply walks forward, each step slower than the last. "Now!" His voice is a whisper and a command. "Answer my questions. Cooperate. And this ends painlessly." But the enemy can't speak. The system, silent, cold, blocks any attempt to extract answers. Jinwoo stands over the crushed body of his enemy. He lowers his head, frustration in his breath. Nothing useful. The system interfered again. The air around him is heavy. Tusk's magic fades. The soldiers dissolve into shadows once more. But Jinwoo doesn't look defeated. He reaches into his inventory and pulls out a glowing key. The key I got from the cursed loot box. His fingers tighten around it. I hit level 100 during the Jeju Island raid. I've met all the requirements. On the key, glowing letters pulse with hidden meaning. The key to Kartanon Temple. Jinwoo stares at it. Memories flood his mind. Screams, blood, the endless despair of the double dungeon. Even if I wanted to forget that place, I couldn't. His voice is low but firm. The system is calling me back. Back to the place where it all started. He closes his eyes, a deep breath. But I'm not the same hunter anymore. We see flashes, him defeating the Ant King, commanding legions, standing atop mountains of fallen beasts. If this was all planned from the beginning, if someone's waiting for me there, then wait for me. His eyes glow with power. The key burns in his hand. I'll be coming for you soon. Scene shift, deep within the Kartanon Temple. A figure sits in the darkness, smirking, waiting. The scene shifts to Jinhoo's office. These damn trolls. Jinhoo's eyes narrow. You can't throw hate on Jinwoo and go unpunished, he thinks. His fingers fly across the keyboard. Ruthless. Crying after getting sued won't help you. Another one bites the dust. I dealt with another group, Hyungnim. He leans back with a tired but satisfied smile. The door opens. No footsteps, no warning. A voice cuts through the room. You've been working hard. Jinhoo flinches. He just comes and goes without a sound, he mutters under his breath. Then louder. Why do you look so rugged? Jinwoo smirks. Just came out of a gate. He tosses a heavy bag onto the desk. It lands with a solid thud. Jinhoo unzips it and nearly gasps. Magical cores, dozens of them. Did you clear a high-ranked gate? By yourself? Jinwoo nods. Just another day. Jinhoo stares at the glowing pile. With this, we won't even have to worry about employee salaries. Jinwoo shrugs. Employees? Jinhoo blinks. Yes, we still need one more guild member, remember? Jinwoo gives another small nod. Guildmaster, vice master, and a third. Jinhoo leans forward, suddenly serious. Even if it's just to meet the quota, we need someone reliable, someone who'll stick with us. Jinwoo shrugs again. That all? Jinhoo shakes his head. Number. There's something much more important. We need a guild name. Jinwoo blinks. Really? Yes, it's a very, very, very crucial matter, Hyungnim. Jinwoo looks genuinely puzzled. This is the important stuff? Jinhoo gets animated, flailing with ideas. How about Sung-Yu Guild, after our last names? Or Yu-Sung Guild, Wooho Guild, Jin-Jin Guild? Jinwoo stares at him. Deadpan. Solo Play Guild. Silence. Jinhoo blinks. What? Was that supposed to be funny? Jinwoo raises a brow. We're solo hunters. It fits. Jinhoo sighs, then smiles. I guess even you have bad naming sense. He laughs softly. You really are human, after all. Suddenly, knock knock. The two freeze. A voice from the hallway. Is this Hunter Sung Jinwoo's guild office? Jinhoo opens the door and freezes. Hunter Cha? Cha Hae-In stands in the doorway, calm, confident. Jinwoo steps forward, cautious. What are you doing here? She hesitates, then steadies herself. I'll like to join your guild. Cha Hae-In stepped inside, composed but visibly nervous. She was welcomed with a polite nod and offered a seat and a drink. The room fell quiet. Jinwoo's gaze narrowed slightly. Maybe I misheard her, he thought, so he asked again, calm but curious. What brings you here? Cha looked him in the eye. Her voice didn't waver. Like I said, I want to join your guild. Jinwoo tilted his head, confused. Did the chairman ask you to come here? No. Did Hunter Choi kick you out? Also no. He stared at her a little longer. She's pretending to be calm, but she's not. Her pulse, her breath, her face, it's turning red. She's hiding something. He leaned forward gently. So why would you want to join a solo play guild? Cha blinked, almost caught off guard. Wait, the name of your guild is solo play? Yes, Jinwoo answered without hesitation. The Vice Guild Master and I agreed on it. From the side, Jinhoo nearly choked. I never agreed to that. You didn't argue, Jinwoo replied coolly, then glanced back at Cha, and in that moment, his emotions began to cloud his logic. Why this guild? Why me? Why now? He reminded her calmly, You're still under contract with the Hunters Guild. Cha didn't flinch. I'm ready to face the penalty. Jinwoo's eyes sharpened. Our guild can't afford to pay a hunter like you. She cut him off. I don't need a payment. That's when Jinwoo grew suspicious. Why is she going this far for a guild that offers her nothing? He didn't ask it aloud, but she could feel the question in the air. Her mind raced. How could she explain this? How could she say what she truly felt? Then she remembered. Their first meeting, that strange scent. No rot, no stench. His mana was clean. She'd been intrigued. She looked up his name, dug into old records, and then that orc dungeon. The way he moved, the summons, the power. She couldn't stop thinking about him. She followed every piece of news, watched him from afar. Then came the S-rank duel. He saved her, again. She flashes back to Jeju Island, the chaos, the screams, her body collapsing. Am I dying? Then shadows rise, light fades, a hand reaches through the smoke. It's him, Jinwoo. She wakes up in a helicopter, dazed. Did Jinwoo come? The chairman beside her answers gently. Yes, it was him. He saved you. She stared at the ceiling. It wasn't a dream. I nearly died, and he stood between me and death. And it could happen again. If I face death once more, I want him by my side. I want him there until I die. Back in the office, present time. Jinwoo noticed something shift. Her face grew even redder, her eyes heavier. Are you not going to answer me? Cha exhaled, slowly, then softly. I want to live a comfortable life. Jinwoo paused. That's it? He stared again. She's only 22, maybe 23. The weight of being S-rank, the scars of Jeju Island. Of course she'd want peace. He nodded, but deep down, he knew. This was about something more. There's an entrance test. Cha blinked. What? To join the guild. It's a new rule. Our vice master probably forgot to post it. Cut to Jinhoo awkwardly scratching his head, running off for snacks. Cha stepped forward. What kind of test? Jinwoo smirked. You have to defeat one of my summons. She stepped closer, eyes sharp. Is that all? I feel like you underestimate me, Mr. Sung. Which one will it be? She asks, with a sly confidence. I'll be sure to choose the strongest one. Just for you. Cha meets his gaze, unflinching. When will the test be held? She presses. Right now, Jinwoo replies. He suggests the gymnasium at the Hunters Association as the battleground. But then an idea sparks in his mind. It's far, he thinks, but maybe this is a good time to test something. He activates Shadow Exchange, a skill so advanced it lets him teleport across vast distances. But could it work with another person? Cha heads for the door, but Jinwoo stops her. We won't go that way, he says. There's a faster route. You'll have to stick close to me, he warns. Jinwoo extends his hand, and without hesitation, Cha Hae-In takes it. In an instant, darkness envelops them as shadows rise. A gateway appears at his feet, leading to his soldier's location. In a heartbeat, they vanish, and the gymnasium emerges before them. The shadow exchange was successful. Just as I thought, it functions like a gate. An entrance is created beneath me, and an exit is created at the designated location. Cha looks around, astonished. How did we just… Jinwoo gives a small smile, hiding his amusement. He couldn't help but wonder to himself about the crazy possibilities of things he could do with the shadow exchange. "Let's begin," he said firmly. Then she gasps. "I didn't bring my weapon." He raises an eyebrow, teasingly. "Ah, the pickaxe?" Her eyes widen. "That wasn't my weapon." "I know," he chuckles. "I was just kidding." She scurries to the weapons storage. The room is lined with sparring gear and magic-blessed blades. None elite, but solid enough. Cha returns with a standard training sword. Jinwoo looks at her, slightly concerned. "Are you sure about that sword? You're not used to it." But she shakes her head. "It doesn't matter what I use. Monsters don't care whether we're ready or not." He stares at her for a moment, impressed. She's not here to play it safe. She wants to prove herself. If I summoned a regular shadow, he thinks, she'd tear it apart. He raises his arm. His shadow stretches, shifts, rises. From it emerges a towering warrior clad in pitch-black armor. "Igris," he whispers, "my finest swordsman." Cha stands her ground. "How will the winner be decided?" she asks. Jinwoo replies coolly, "Simple. You either destroy my summon, or you surrender." He hesitates for a moment. "I told her I'd call my strongest, but summoning Beru might be too much. This should be enough." Cha steadies her breathing. Her mana gathers. Her grip tightens on the sword. "Then let's begin." With a wave of his hand, Igris draws a sword that crackles with energy. The Demon King's long sword. A blast of lightning erupts as Igris swings. Cha leaps, barely dodging. Jinwoo watches, silently impressed. "She's fast. Most would have died from just that shockwave." The gym rumbles as the duel intensifies. Blades clash, sparks fly. The rumble of battle echoes through the association's halls, shaking the floor beneath Chairman Go Gun-hee's office. He looks up sharply. Something isn't right. Without hesitation, he picks up the phone. "What's going on?" Moments later, the CCTV feed flickers to life. He leans forward, eyes narrowing as the footage comes into view. Jinwoo and Cha Hae-In. His brows lift slightly in surprise, but only for a moment. Then he smiles. "I really was blind, wasn't I?" His mind flashes back to the Jeju Island raid, to Cha's voice, trembling, asking about Jinwoo the moment she woke up. It all makes sense now. He then speaks calmly to the person on the line. "Erase the CCTV logs. Just write it down as an inspection." He leans back in his chair, a quiet chuckle escaping under his breath. "Let them enjoy their youth." Back in the gym, the fight escalates. Cha dashes in, landing a fierce strike. Igris blocks, counters, slashes, and then an unexpected twist. Igris stumbles. Jinwoo's eyes widen. "She beat him?" She turns, sweat glistening, chest heaving. "Was that your strongest shadow?" She smirks. "You said you'd summon your strongest, right?" She steadies herself, eyes burning with resolve. "Then summon him." Jinwoo pauses for a moment, his expression tightening. "You could get hurt." But Cha Hae-In doesn't flinch. She's already seen the footage from Jeju Island, already witnessed the overwhelming power of that creature, and deep inside, she craved a rematch. "Summon Beru," she says firmly. Jinwoo's eyes narrow, shadows stir around his feet. A small smile tugs at the edge of his lips. From the darkness below, a suffocating aura begins to rise. The temperature drops, the pressure thickens, and then Beru emerges, tall, menacing, eyes glowing with primal hunger. Still, Jinwoo turns to her once more. One last chance. Are you sure you're okay with this? Cha meets his gaze, steady and resolute. The battle isn't over. It's just begun. Beru, the monster who once tore through Korea's top hunters like paper, the very creature who nearly ended her life on Jeju Island, now reborn in shadow, stronger, faster, and colder. And yet, Cha Hae-In stands tall. Across the room, Jinwoo watches silently, his eyes unreadable, but his thoughts are sharp. Shadow soldiers are never as strong as they were in life. But Beru, he's different. He was made to kill hunters. If he gets serious, she won't make it out of this. Beru lowers himself to one knee. My king, what are your orders? Jinwoo doesn't hesitate. Defeat her, but don't hurt her. Beru rises. The air grows heavy. Then, he screeches, a bone-rattling sound that shatters the gymnasium's reinforced windows. Magic barriers spark and fail. Glass rains around them. Cha instinctively braces herself. The sheer force of Beru's aura suffocates. He fought this monster, and won? Beru launches forward. In a flash, Jinwoo stops him. Claws away, hurt her, and you'll regret ever existing. That hesitation is all Cha needs. She charges, but before her blade lands, Beru disappears. She gasps. He's behind her. The same move, again. She spins, slashing back. Not this time. He catches her blade with 2 fingers, like swatting a fly. Defeat without harm, a simple task indeed. He's mocking her. Cha attacks again, and again. Her sword crashes against the floor with monstrous force. Beru dodges each strike without breaking a sweat. I'm just getting started, she growls, unleashing a flurry of lightning-fast slashes. But he doesn't even move his feet. He leans, shifts, and evades every attack with minimal effort. He's toying with me. He closes the distance, looming, face to face. He screeches again. The sonic blast throws Cha back across the room. She slams her sword into the ground, skidding to a halt. Jinwoo watches. This is over, but she stands. I can still fight. Jinwoo frowns. Why? Why keep pushing? This isn't about the guild anymore. It's suicide. Beru isn't like the others. He has a mind, but he's still a beast, a predator. Suddenly, something shifts in Beru. He stops seeing Cha as an opponent. He sees prey. How dare you! He roars. His aura flares violently. Bloodlust takes over. He surges forward, not to defeat, to kill. Cha barely avoids the strike. The floor where she stood is obliterated. She gasps for air, heart pounding, but her eyes sharpen. She whispers, "Sword dance!" Mana explodes around her. She vanishes, reappears in the air above Beru, and rains down a storm of precise slashes. For the first time, Beru is hit. She sees it, his weakness. This is it, one chance, no mana for another. She activates her final technique, Sword of Light. Her blade glows white hot. She strikes, right through Beru's chest. Jinwoo's eyes widen. She actually hurt him. Beru stumbles. Then it happens. The queen's voice echoes in his head. Annihilate the enemy! His sanity fractures. His claws extend. His aura turns black and violent. He blitzes toward Cha at full speed. Jinwoo shouts, "Stop!" Beru doesn't hear. Cha closes her eyes. She knows what's coming. Then, Jinwoo appears, catches Beru's claw just inches from her face. I said, "Stop!" He kicks Beru across the gym like a rag doll. Silence. Everything freezes. Beru drops to his knees. Forgive me, my king. Jinwoo rushes to Cha. Are you okay? She nods, breathless, but Jinwoo isn't calm. Why? Why push yourself so hard? This was only an entrance test to a nameless guild. A hunter of your caliber shouldn't risk their life over such a mediocre thing. There was no response. He stares at her, confused. Why is she going to such lengths? Are you interested in me? Still silence. No? Then what is she hiding? He sighs, confused, but then her lips move, software hesitant, but clear. Yes, I think so. The next day. Daylight had already broken. Jinwoo was heading toward his car, ready to start the day, when a man suddenly stepped into his path. Are you Mr. Sung Jinwoo? I'm Adam White, senior official from the U.S. Federal Bureau of Hunters. Jinwoo didn't respond immediately. He was more curious than alarmed. What business would the U.S. Federal Bureau have with him? Adam continued calmly. I apologize for the sudden approach. You're not exactly easy to track down. He had even stopped by Jinwoo's office, still hadn't been able to reach him. That's when Jinwoo remembered. Jinhoo had mentioned a foreigner asking about him, someone who had been waiting for a callback, and then Adam dropped a line that made Jinwoo pause. We have information, something no other country, no other organization can offer you. Those words hit differently. Jinwoo studied him quietly. Why would the US share something like that with me? Adam didn't flinch. We benefit from sharing knowledge with special individuals like yourself, he continued. I was meant to meet you alone, but after Jeju Island, you left quite the impression. Our deputy director wants to meet you in person. He'll explain the rest. Jinwoo remained skeptical, and the offer was interesting, but not convincing. I don't know if I trust your information, he said, sliding into the driver's seat. I'll give you a call, after thinking it over. But then Adam spoke again, and this time it made Jinwoo freeze. An upgrader. One word, that's all it took. Jinwoo closed the car door without a word, and followed him. They arrived at a high-end hotel and were led to a private room. Waiting inside was Michael Connor, Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Hunters. Once they were seated, Connor got straight to the point. He placed a folder on the table between them. These are immigration documents, he said confidently. Usually they take 1 to 2 years to process. For you, we'll make an exception. Say the word, and you'll be a U.S. citizen. Jinwoo stared, genuinely perplexed. This was more than he expected. But he hadn't come for citizenship. He looked up, eyes sharp. I only followed you because of what you said earlier. Is it really possible to upgrade a hunter's abilities? Connor nodded. Someone with that power is here. With us. And at that very moment, the door opened, and a woman stepped into the room. Michael Connor stood. This is Ms. Norma Selner, the only person in the entire world capable of enhancing an awakened being's powers. Jinwoo's eyes narrowed slightly. She didn't feel like a hunter, but something about her was different. Connor turned to her. Please, explain your powers to Mr. Sung. Selner settled gently into her seat. You must be skeptical. Everyone gives me that same look at first. But once you feel it, once it touches you, you'll be begging for more. Her voice carried a calm confidence, the kind of voice that had turned disbelief into awe countless times. She leaned in slightly. As you likely know, every awakened being has a limit. No matter how hard they train, they can never surpass it. Unless they undergo a second awakening. Jinwoo nodded. That much was common knowledge. But I can change that, she said. Through a 3-stage process, I can lift those limitations. She took a small bite of her cake, then continued. I'm not entirely sure what to call it. A forced reawakening, maybe. Or perhaps I just help draw out someone's true potential. Connor confirmed everything she had said was true. However, there was a catch. Ms. Selner required long periods of rest after using her power, meaning she could only perform it a few times on a few individuals. Thoughts raced through Jinwoo's mind. Could he be one of the few to experience this incredible power? How effective is the process? He asked. Those who receive my gift gain a 20 to 30% increase in strength, Ms. Selner answered calmly. The number echoed in Jinwoo's mind. 20 to 30%. That was enormous. For an S-rank hunter, practically unheard of. Now he understood why Hwang Dong-soo had left Korea. Who could say no to that kind of power? But wouldn't she be in danger if anyone found out? Jinwoo asked. Connor leaned forward. That's exactly why Ms. Selner remains under our protection. The US kept her safe, paid her well, and in return, she reawakened the hunters they selected. Connor straightened. Mr. Sung, we'd like to offer this gift to you. Jinwoo's eyes narrowed with skepticism. Don't you mean offer? Connor continued. Once you become a hunter under the Federal Bureau, you'll be our top priority. You'll receive the best support, the best contracts, everything. Ms. Selner then assured him that he didn't need to decide today. This was simply their gift to him. It was tempting, almost too tempting. You want to lift my limit for nothing in return? Connor smiled. Think of it as a complimentary service. But Jinwoo wasn't naive. He looked at Selner and saw her quiet confidence. She said he'd be begging for more after one taste. She believed he'd be satisfied. Selner leaned forward slightly and took Jinwoo's hand into hers. Look into my eyes, she said. This is the first step. From the side, Connor whispered, Nice. He took the bait. He was confident that after this, Jinwoo would want to get in touch with them, and if he was impatient, he might sign right away. Still, he couldn't help but wonder, what was Jinwoo truly capable of? He had done things Goto Ryuji, a national-level hunter, couldn't. He had cleared Jeju Island with powers no one had seen before. Selner began. The room fell silent, as if even the air had paused. She reached into his soul, and what she found was eerie, pitch black, an overwhelming darkness, then a face. It emerged from the void, staring directly at her, furious, ancient, and inhuman. Her breath caught, her body froze. The silence shattered with Selner's scream as she collapsed backward. Agents burst into the room. You bastard! What did you do to Ms. Selner? Panic erupted. Connor shouted, You morons! Do you even know who this man is? The agents tried to explain they were just worried about Ms. Selner. If you're that worried, then check on her. Connor turned and apologized to Jinwoo. Jinwoo, still unsure what had just happened, replied calmly, It's fine. Connor then reminded the agents, If this were Thomas Andre or Liu Zhigang, we'd all be dead by now. But Jinwoo's eyes had already shifted. Selner was trembling. She was pale, covered in sweat, breathing heavily. Miss Selner, are you okay? She couldn't answer. Connor stepped forward. It seems she's not feeling well today. Do you mind if we reschedule? I'll be in touch. Connor asked Adam to show Jinwoo out. As he turned to leave, Adam silently guided him out of the room. Behind them, Connor leaned in close. Miss Selner, what happened? She took a shaky breath. He's a king, a very powerful one. Connor froze. Did this mean he was on par with national-level hunters? Selner couldn't provide a clear answer. She was still shaken. He wasn't just a king, she whispered. He stared back at me. It wasn't Sung Jinwoo, it was something else. An infinite darkness, living inside him. Still trembling, she added, There's no limit to his power. The scene shifts to Cha Hae-In's residence. She sat alone, lost in thought, trying to process everything that had happened between her and Jinwoo. She had confessed, or at least implied, that she liked him. Now she was second-guessing it all. She remembered how Jinwoo had gently told her that joining his guild might not be the best idea. Did he think she was crazy? Still, after everything, after he'd saved her life, how could she not feel something? Even though she tried to appear composed, inside, Everything was tangled. Nothing felt okay. Then she remembered Byung-gu. His healing ability was the reason she'd survived. Before he disappeared, he had left her with a message to deliver. She had almost forgotten. Tell Sung Jinwoo to be careful, not of his enemies, but of the power within him. She remembered now. It wasn't just a dream. Elsewhere in the city, a different scene unfolded. Jinwoo stood in front of a mirror, quietly studying his reflection. Ever since his reawakening, everything had changed. Not just his strength, even his appearance. He was taller, more muscular. His features had sharpened, and his skin had completely cleared up. He found himself wondering, was he actually good-looking now? Probably not. He still thought of himself as average. Stepping into the living room, he turned to Gina and asked what she'd rate him. She blinked, confused, until he clarified. He meant in terms of attractiveness. She gave him a smirk and said he still looked like a bum. He grabbed her playfully and shoved her into the sofa with a grin. "Thanks for the objective opinion," he said. He reminded her that this was no ordinary body anymore. He had the physique of an S-rank hunter. He then teased, asking how someone with a bird brain like hers managed to get through school. She fired back that he was top of her class, but he was quick to remind her that only applied to her mock exams. They bickered like siblings do, a fleeting taste of normalcy in a life that rarely offered it. Then Jinwoo changed the subject. He mentioned he was planning to form a guild. That got her attention. So he'd be the boss now? He nodded. If everything went smoothly, yes. Then he brought up the name. He asked what she thought of solo player guild. She stared at him. Was he serious? She pointed out that he wasn't really a solo player anymore, not with an army of shadow soldiers at his command. He paused. She had a point, so he asked her what she would name it. She suggested something more thoughtful. Ajin, a word that meant I advance in Chinese characters, and it just so happened to be her name spelled backward. He considered it. It had a nice ring to it, not bad at all. That brings us to the end of the Ajin Guild arc. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Trust me, it only gets crazier from here.